All right, guys, welcome to the Media Hijack Podcast. I'm your host, Billy Walters, and joining me is Chris, Unholy Jesus. Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Happy Hump Day.
Happy Hump Day, and welcome back to another episode of the Media Hijack, episode 219. Before we get started, if you guys want to get some official Media Hijack t-shirts like this one right here, you can head over to the MediaHijack.com, grab you some official Media Hijack t-shirts. Also, if you guys want to catch the replay for the live Twitch video, you can head over to our YouTube page. And don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Give us that 5-star frog splash.
Hell yeah.
All right, let's get started. All right, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about Simeon Toko, the Black Jesus who came back from the dead. So have you ever heard of this guy, Simeon Toko from Africa?
Not at all.
Yeah, Bob, she sent this story on Instagram, and I heard the story, right? They were saying this black guy lives in Africa, and people were calling him the Black Jesus because he was able to heal people. He was able to bring people back to life. He himself got shot plenty of times, and his wounds healed, and he came back. This is just all words on the street.
Oh.
And I was listening to that story on Instagram. I was like, this has to be an AI story, like an AI made up story. Right. So I looked it up. I was like, it's a legit story, dude, that came out from Africa.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, damn, because the story it's pretty wild. It's like even like this one rumor, it includes him being chopped into pieces and body parts spread all around the world. Because they said the cabal, right? They were worried that he might like fix himself back up and come back to life again. Because they couldn't kill him. That was the story. They're like, we cannot kill this guy. He's like Cell from Dragon Ball.
Right, you guys, they had to separate them pieces far and wide. So it's like, they can never reattach.
yeah. I was
That's crazy.
He giving off Cell vibes. I was like, dude.
Right?
I was like, if anybody could do that, it would be Jesus. So I guess this is how he got his nickname, the Black Jesus, or our Lord and Savior for Africa. Mm-hmm. So, all right, so let's begin. All right, so in the early 20th century, Africa, they were under the heel of European colonial powers and the Portuguese running the show in Angola in Africa. And they were the people that was messing up everything, like in Africa. Mm-hmm. So Toko, he was born in 1918. He died in 1984. So it was still recent.
Oh shit, that's a long time.
Yeah, he lived all the way to 1984. And you were born like what? 1984, 85? Right? 85? Yeah, so you were like 1 year old when he just passed. Bob, she's like 1970, so she was still alive when Toko was 15. Alive. Yeah, she was alive when the Black Jesus was walking. So this guy, right, like not only was he about spiritual awakening, but he was on a mission of liberation for the African people. And, like we're not just talking about like spiritual freedom. Like this guy, he was preaching about a revolution. Yeah. He was trying to fix all the shit that the Portuguese, the European people, they came down with their powers. They had, they put their heel down like, hey, we're going to take over this place.
Yeah, we got guns.
Yeah, and they would chop off the hands of these villagers because they stole food or something. They took over the whole joint.
Yeah.
Well, and Toko, he was a preacher also, but he wasn't like your average preacher. Like he started gaining followers who they believe he wasn't just a man. Like they believe he held some power, like some divine power. They're like, this is not a normal man. This is not a normal preacher.
So was this like his?
Go ahead.
So was this like the people that loved him and his enemies thought that he was this mythological being, this prophet, I guess. Like his enemies believed it too.
I don't think his enemy at first believed it until they tried to kill him.
They tried to shoot him. He's bulletproof. Okay.
Like let's test this. Like he's gaining too many followers. We don't like that because they literally can start a revolution if they all like agree like, hey, this guy is the Messiah.
Right.
Hey, there's more of us than the Europeans. We can take this whole shit back,
Right.
So like they believe like he was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ. And that's when his followers started calling him Black Jesus. And that wasn't just a nickname. They said it was a statement because they saw him actually come back alive and just walked around after he was shot multiple times. And they're like, wait a minute.
Hey.
Toko, is that you? I thought they killed you already.
I thought they put a hot one in you. What happened?
Yeah, like I literally saw like pew pew. I saw a bullet ricochet, like not ricochet, but bounce inside your skull. Yeah, he got stabbed and everything. I was like, he was like getting healed because there was a picture of him. Maybe one of the only few pictures where I saw where he shows his chest. It's like I think he got cut inside his chest or stabbed. Excuse me. It was nasty, but and it healed up.
Yeah.
You see like the keloid and stuff.
Right.
Yeah. So, they saw him as like Black Jesus. They said his savior sent to save the people in Africa.
Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm. So what happened next? Well, the Portuguese government, they weren't exactly thrilled about him being the Messiah because they said he was stirring up trouble, like gaining too many followers, gaining too much power now. Because his followers, like if they believe you're Jesus, dude, they would do anything for you. They would fight tooth and nail, like, hey, we got to protect our savior because he's the one that's going to save all of Africa and stuff. Because you guys came here with like a negative mindset, like you guys want to take over and just treat people like, like shit.
We ain't shit, yep.
Yeah, so like Toko, he was captured, thrown in jail, and they decided to kill him. But not just like a regular way. So according to like the legends, they didn't just like shoot him up. They chopped him up, dude. Literally tore him into pieces. And then chipped out his body parts into all the corners of the world. And I'm going to play a tape for you guys.
Oh, video, yes.
I got a video, but it's just of a recording.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
More information on
the Black Jesus story. The Black Jesus story was probably one of the most shocking things I ever heard. It came from my insider Jacob, on that in the book, who actually was working for the Rothschild, still does. Also, who doesn't really continues to work for them because he feels like there's some very serious extraterrestrial threats to Earth and that what they're doing is very necessary to protect us. So the story goes that in the 1960s there was a black man in Africa who came in with abilities complementary to those of Jesus. And he was performing miracles. He was starting to get people to listen to what he had to say. And the cabal tried to kill him, and, they could shoot him in the head, and his skull would just regenerate, and the flesh would grow back, and he was fine. And, so the crazy story that I heard, and remember, I was told at the time that if I disclosed this, that I would be killed, and I ended up putting it in the book anyway. The story was that this guy, they finally said, okay, we're going to bring you to the United Nations and share your message with the world. Let's get you on this flight. They bring him on this flight, and instead of bringing him to the United Nations, they shot him repeatedly, and then actually had some kind of meat grinder device, and basically like a bandsaw, I guess, and sawed up his body into a whole bunch of pieces, put him in these very like radioactive shielded containers, and then had all these fighter jets dock with the plane and fly his body parts to all corners of the world, where then these containers turned them into ash. And they thought that maybe this would defeat him, like that his body somehow, the tissue was necessary. So if they destroyed all the tissue in all these places across the world, maybe they could defeat him. Well, he then regenerated in their offices and was fully fine, fully intact. But the sad part is that he said, I you guys so badly do not want me to be here that I am not going to be able to do any more. You're going to get what you want, but bear in mind that in the future, many others like me will be coming, and when they do, you will not be able to stop us.
Wow. Well,
That's pretty crazy, right?
Oh, yeah. Is that a threat, sir?
Yeah, it wasn't a threat, but they were saying like there's people sent like to this earth like to be like a good role model for earthlings so they can ascend higher, and they get sent to a whole bunch of different souls out here, and he was one of them. Like just like Jesus was one of them, he was one of them. I think Buddha was one of them. Muhammad was another one. All these like figures of people where people worship. Yeah, Muhammad.
Right.
Yeah, and he was one of them. And they're saying like, damn, like you guys like just trying so hard to get rid of me. It's like, sure, okay, I'll go away, but later in the future, there's gonna be way more than just one of me. There's gonna be a bunch that's on the earth, and they're all gonna come like at one time. And there's no way you guys can take care of all of them, no matter what you do. Because I heard stories before, right? I heard a weird ass story about they said that one of the people from the Bible, they were born into like a body, right? And then the church, they found out, like I don't know if it was Cain or somebody was born like from the Bible. They got reincarnated into a soul, and then the church found out, and then they took that baby, and they brought witches to that baby, right? Because they're trying to take the soul out of that baby and put it in a different body so they can control that person. But then they end up killing the baby because the people that's trying to stop it, like, no, you're not gonna take like this soul so you can have control over like somebody that was supposed to be good. Right. They end up killing the baby. Then they did the whole reset. So the soul went like back to like wherever, heaven or wherever you want to call it. Yeah. And like, all right, like they almost got you that time, but we're gonna have to send you somewhere else.
Shit.
I don't know. That might be true, man.
It could be, man. It could be like these properties show up every now and again. Like Neo from the Matrix is only like one, and they show up every couple of centuries or whatever to try to help out. But then it sounds like I guess when the Earth is gonna be put under more pressure, they're gonna be like, yo, let's send them all down.
Dude, you and me could be one, but we don't know yet.
We don't know yet. It's not our time.
We don't know yet. Yeah. Bob could be one too.
Right.
That's why we got to be nice to each other, because when one of us like show out, sitting on that throne, they'd be like, oh, I'm glad I was good to that person.
Yeah, I remember you.
Remember that T-shirt I got you? Media hijack.
Remember I hooked you up?
So you never got me a T-shirt. Like, damn.
Oops.
Yeah, and the crazy thing, like how that guy was saying, how they chopped him up. The wild part of that story, they put him in like these containers that was like, what he said, it was like radiation free or some shit like that.
Yeah, so it was like radioactive containers. So it was like, if it was, that was the thing. I was like, I was like, what the hell? So it sounds like they put his body parts in radioactive containers. I guess to maybe maintain, because they had no idea the origin of his abilities. Like he might be radioactive, or maybe maybe his whatever energy he gives off might react and like pull his body parts back together. But it seemed like what they were trying to do, they were trying to contain whatever energy that he was probably releasing, or they thought that was probably making all this work. So they just like,
I think
container, seal it.
Yeah, they were probably afraid of him connecting all his body parts back together, because they were thinking like a kid, like like remember I told you like the Cell Saga, where if his cells are too close together, they could all reconnect. But the crazy thing is about that story, after they shipped his body parts to all these different locations in the world, they said he showed up like walking around like in their office area, and they're like
nothing happened.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you live all the way to 1984, you lived your whole life. Man, and he was like, look, if you guys don't want me like to help nobody no more, I won't do nothing else. But you guys already know you can't kill me. But let me tell you one thing. Like even after I pass away, there's going to be a whole bunch more coming. And I think they're already here, dude.
Man, walking amongst us.
Like they cannot die, or they're being super divinely protected. Like,
honestly, on some real shit, it sounds like, I guess these prophets that are chosen by whoever or whatnot. Maybe it might be chance that somebody might be prophet. Maybe it's destiny. I'm not sure, but it seems like these prophets that are coming along, are they getting stronger? Yeah, Jesus, he came back after being crucified and buried in the cave, and he eventually wakes back up. And then you have this prophet closer to us doing modern day, get shot in the head, chopped up, and still survive. It's like, are these prophets getting more powerful? like they got this cheat code on? Like this.
I would think so, man. Like, maybe not like physically stronger, but like mentally stronger. Well, I don't know. Could be both. I think they already know like what they're here for, so that's the thing.
It might be one of those things like I'm gonna do comic book talk, but forgive me.
Here we go.
There's this character named the Shaman. No, his name's the Doctor, right? In this comic book called Wildstorm. He's part of the superhero team. Well, the CIA group that works for the government. But his name is the Doctor. Now, the Doctor is actually this shaman who used to be, before he was a shaman, he was like a junkie, just in the alley, shooting up all the time. And then one day he got hit with all this energy, and when he closed his eyes and opened his eyes, he was like in this mystical land, and it's all these monks and all these people that existed for thousands of years before him, and they tell him like, hey, you're now the next Doctor. You're now the new Doctor. Wow. Because now you with your abilities, you can sense everything, all life, all sadness, everything, all at once. And also, you basically have magic powers, and you can do whatever you want. But you are the strongest shaman. You're the strongest shaman in line because you possess all the knowledge of everyone that came before you. So when you die, the person that comes after you is going to be stronger because all your experience and all of ours will be added on together. So it just stacks up over time, and basically whoever's like the last whoever Doctor comes next will always be the strongest one. But anytime they have difficult situations like trying to do a spell or trying to understand what's going on with like the sorcerer type world, the supernatural stuff, they just like meditate and they go see like all of the doctors that came before, and they all give him advice on all this other stuff. And when he's done, he goes back to our world. It's like, okay, cool, I know how to do this. I can figure this out. And then boom, boom, boom. But
that's real.
It reminds me of that. It's like kind of like
real, dude.
up.
Yeah,
it's like that shit.
Dude, that has to be real. Like they gained all that knowledge, right? It's all passed down like to him.
Yes.
It's a similar story to that 100 series.
Yeah.
Where they had like people who were leaders, right? But the way they became the leader, they got like this alien chip, right? Which is like an organic alien chip, like it crawls like venom and stuff, but it's like a small little chip. And then when they choose the next person to be like the leader of the whole clan, they put the chip in their back, and then it goes in their spine, and then it loads up all the data from all like the past kings.
All the previous,
the previous kings, and then they get like a jolt of information, and then they know exactly what to do now, because it's like for generations like 10, 20, 30 different kings, and you're getting all the information all loaded up on like a little single hard drive.
Yeah, damn. Even I think with the Black Panther, his character T'Challa, he does the same thing too, where he can go into like this mystical realm where he can talk to all the previous Black Panthers before him, like his father, his grandfather, and they all give him wisdom on how to solve, like, hey, you dealing with this bad guy or whatever. You know, you're hitting a mental block, and you can't think forward. So we're gonna help you now. And they give you knowledge. You come back, and you're like, okay, I got this. And then so it might be a real thing, bro. It's because it sounds like a lot of stories.
Yeah, I believe it.
A lot of stories have this whole stacking of abilities or going back to the source to get wisdom, and then
I think everybody's capable of it, dude.
Real shit, I can see that.
Yeah, like if you probably meditate more or like more in line with your chakras or your true self, like I think we're all capable of gaining that type of knowledge like from our higher self.
Yeah.
And they can tell us like shit like, nah, do not make that left turn, big dog. Or do not.
I made that mistake. Don't do that.
Yeah, because you get like a gut feeling, like, I don't know about this. And then like when they say like the universe or whatever, your ancestors are telling you this. This is you telling yourself this because they're like, hey, bad move, big dog. Don't do it. We're going to send you all this information without actually telling you. But I hope you get your gut feeling, and then you're going to change your mind about what you're about to do.
We're gonna send something to you subconsciously, and then when you think about it, then you start feeling in your gut.
Like we're gonna let your ears ring, and then be like, "Remember when your ears ring? Something. Just look around. Just something's happening."
Right.
That's like a clue. It's like a save point, you know.
Right, the little,
Yeah,
so like,
like it's saving, like, all right. So if I die now, I can continue back here.
Right, it's my
Or
last.
who knows?
Point.
Like when you save point, I mean you hit like a checkpoint in that stage, and you're like, all right, now you're working on the next stage.
Right. If I die, I come back right here, and I'll just go this way instead of this way this time.
Mm-hmm. Then your ear is ringing right now. Beep.
Oh.
Easter egg unlock.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So like another story, like getting back to this real quick.
Right.
There was a bunch of witnesses that saw Toko appear after they shot him up, like before. Like they would say like not only see him like in person, they would see him in dreams, and they would see him just walking around in their dreams. And there's this one witness, right, who was hired to kill him, and he said personally he killed this man because he was a professional right. Killer. Shot him in the head, like for sure he killed him. And then later, right. He saw him like walking around a few days later.
He said, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Yeah, there's another one where they said where the people said they physically slaughtered him, like chopped them up. Then they watch him like come back to life, like before their eyes, and they're like, this is not normal. And I think like the cabal, right? They saying that cabal was the one that's trying to get rid of him. They're like, all right, we saw this for ourselves. We know what he's capable of, and then this is where they put him in like the meat grinder and put his body parts in all the separate boxes. And they're like, let's see him come back from this now. And then he came back. It's like, who did you guys slice up? Like, what kind of magic bullshit is this?
Right? That's crazy.
Like, you guys can't get rid of me. But like, he was like, man, like, you guys killed me so many times now. Like, I get it. All right, I'm going to stop the message. I'm going to stop doing all this. Just live a normal life.
I can't die till my mission's complete.
Yeah, then like till like this day, like people, there's a church called the Tokius Church. Till this day, it still exists, and people try to keep his teachings alive. They have like missions, and they go to like all these other countries, and then they teach his teachings. So like he still live on because his story, his myth, his legend, it's a crazy legend that I don't think a lot of people know about in the West. Or in the world, period, because I never heard of this.
Hell no. There's a lot of. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of shit that happened in Africa that cabals and whatnot want to keep secret, because it's the origin of all humanity. So it's got some of the oldest stories of mankind there. Some shit we probably gonna never know about.
Yeah. Yeah, Africa is. They have a lot of crazy stories. I told you that one story when I used to work at Fresh Express. And this African guy, he was telling me, like, in his village, he said there's people in the village that can hold their breath, like, over 30 minutes. And these are the people that they use to find, like, drowned victims. Like, they would just put them, like, in the water, and they would be down there, like, over 30, 40 minutes looking for these drowned victims. I was like, that sounds real as hell, because I was like, we're just working, and you're telling me this story? I believed it. I was like, you didn't have nothing to gain from that.
I remember, I remember, like, because I remember we talked about before too about I can't remember where it was at, but somewhere out there in the world, it was like the some fishing tribe, and how they could hold their breath for like 30, 40 minutes, and it's like, oh, that's because that's just a part of their life, and that's how they gotta make their livelihood. And I guess the more you do it, the more better you get at it. So they like damn near fish people. I saw not too long ago though, talking about how we were back before, we became more civilized, if you want to call it that. Back when we were like caveman type level shit. And they're talking about how strong cavemen were back then. I watched a video not too long talking about this. And it made it seem like cavemen, before we started having technology, whatever, before we actually was actually out there having like to work and actually put in, build houses with our hands and stuff, and like live off the land and be ooga ooga booga booga, all this other stuff. We were like super strong. He was like mad strong back then. It was like some unnatural shit.
Yeah,
super strong. And then we got weaker over the years. It's kind of like, okay, it's because we ain't one with the earth no more. We got technologies. Like, okay, we went from one end to the other now. It's kind of
yeah. I think the good life is making people weaker. In general, like the whole human race. If you think about it, it's not a lot of strong people anymore.
No.
Because out of like 100 men, right? How many think is like ultimate alpha dog guys out of 100 guys?
Man, out of 100, 0.
I would say like maybe
alpha,
10.
Alpha special.
Or less. Probably less than 10.
I'll probably say less.
Maybe like 3.
See, alpha, I'll probably say like 10 or less. I'll put you on that, 10 or less.
Yeah.
Alphas then will go in the pack. They probably get like.
Yeah, they don't make them how they used to make them. Like, we're born and we're all like, we gotta lift weights just to get muscle. But some people, they're just born with muscle already.
Yeah, genetically.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people like that. Like, what the hell? Like, you're born, like, you already did your gym routine
before you got here.
What the hell? Like, did you lift weights? Like, I never lifted a weight in my life. I'm like, shut up. Get out of my face.
Just naturally ripped. Oh, you mother.
Doing push-ups. Like, what the hell? I gotta do all this shit.
Skinny. I'm just naturally skinny.
Well, yeah, that's all I got for this Black Jesus. Like, whether he was Jesus or just a man with an extraordinary message, like, he definitely left a mark in history, especially in Africa. And I'm glad we know about this guy's name. I'm glad we know about this story. Now other people, they can look into the story, because maybe other continents, like in this world, they had their own version of their own Jesus, their own savior.
You know what?
Right?
Yeah.
It's just probably not. It hasn't hit the internet yet.
Right? But every culture at some point has had their own prophet in some way.
Yeah, I think so, because everybody in this world is hurting some, like, one way or another. Mm-hmm. And they need that one prophet just to come in, just to be born in that village where he can grow up and then handle shit.
Right.
And since he said there's a whole bunch that's going to come later, I hope we get one out here.
Man, hell yeah. Then we can have him on the podcast.
Yeah.
No interview.
Before you save the world, can we get you an interview real quick?
Please, can we be the first interview?
Yeah, no big deal.
I got time. let me stop time right quick. All right.
And, oh yeah, you guys believe in time, right? Yeah, let me stop that real quick.
Let me pause it. Boom.
That'd be cool,
Good
man.
shit, man. They need to make a story of this dude. I haven't even heard of this guy. It's crazy.
They need to make a whole comic book about this guy.
They really could. Shit, they got a comic book about Jesus fighting dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, speaking of Jesus, you know, they made a whole comic book, like, of the whole Bible explained in comic book form.
I can see that, man. Gotta get the youth.
They got all the pictures. It's like so cool. I was like, damn. I was like, should I buy it? Because I've never actually read the Bible from front to back. I maybe read a paragraph.
Me neither. It's too much. It's the words are confusing, and I mean, if anything, I read the Bible more online than I've done with the physical copy. Just because I'd like, if I'm online, I'm reading something, I'm like, okay, cool, and I'm just doing research about it after that. Like, what did he mean?
Yeah, it's all encrypted.
Yeah, right.
All right, so that's it for this one. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back for the next story. We're back for the next topic of the night with Chris, Unholy, Not Black Jesus.
Let's get it. All right, so I got a crazy ass story.
Okay.
Actually happened on American Airlines, man. I saw the video. The video doesn't do it justice. This story is actually better than the video itself that went viral.
Okay.
Okay, so this is so there was like this footage that was captured on American Airlines. This passenger who allegedly believed evil spirits were following him began throwing punches at flight attendants in a bizarre outburst that one passenger described as the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. Just crazy.
I believe that. I believe that.
So this guy named Delange Augustin, he's 31 years old, and he was actually flying on a flight with his sister. While on the flight, when the plane started hitting like some turbulence, because his flight was actually leaving from Savannah, Georgia, flying to Miami.
Ah.
And so when his flight started hitting like turbulence, that's when all hell broke loose. And he started what people thought was like he was having a seizure at first, because like I said, the plane was hitting turbulence. everyone thought he was having a seizure on the plane. And then after the turbulence ended, he still was acting like he had a seizure. And then he started like screaming like heavily, and he started like screaming in chants. One eyewitness says he started stomping his feet violently, like heavily, and screaming. It was kind of a chant. He was talking about devils and possession. You have to see it to believe it. This is what one of the eyewitnesses said. And they said, and also too, his sister was actually going ape shit on the plane as well too, going crazy on the plane too, and chanting as well. So the brother and sister duo, they both went crazy. And one of the eyewitnesses on the plane, this guy named Mr. Rosenberg. He's actually one of the guys who helped wrestle Delange to the ground. And he was up telling like the press when he did the interviews, like they were possessed, and that was a very, very disturbing scene. I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, but that was probably the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. It says the ordeal, which ended with 31-year-old in handcuffs, began moments after the wheels left the ground Savannah, Georgia, Monday night, and Augustine began wildly shaking and yelling when the plane hit turbulence. They said he started kicking the flight attendants, and he kicked a flight attendant like trying to like subdue him. This is when it gets crazy because they don't show this in the video. This is before the person started recording on the plane. But eyewitnesses said that when they ran up and tried to subdue the guy on the plane who was saying he was possessed by a devil, he kicked the flight attendant in the chest. Damn. And they flew across the plane and hit the door.
Was it like a front chest kick?
Like Charlie Murphy and
damn,
fucking Rick James. He kicked him in the chest, and the flight attendant like flew across the plane and smashed into the door. And that's when everybody was like, "Oh shit, get him!" And that's when everybody started jumping on him and trying to like subdue him. He eventually wound up breaking free as well too, and he actually tried to run up into the plane that where the cockpit is at, and he was fighting off everyone up there too, beating them up. And this is where the eyewitnesses on the plane actually captured the footage. Now this is the footage that was going viral of the guy on the plane.
I wish you would have sent it. We could have played it.
I know, right? Shut up, man. But it was a very short video too. It was a nice short video. But he was on the plane. You can see him fighting some people. Like two white dudes are trying to hang on to this dude. He's like a Haitian dude. They like the guy that's possessed. They like holding on to him and stuff. And then he's just fighting them off. Right? That right? I was like, he comes from that world.
Dude, the Haitians, they mess with a lot of like witchcraft stuff, dude.
They are deep in it, man.
Yeah, dude, they are deep in that.
I heard like a lot of voodoo is good though. I heard voodoo is like mainly good, but it can be used for some bad shit too. Like a lot of things, you know.
Of course, yeah, because you can use a knife to cut a chicken to cook. You could use a knife to kill somebody.
Facts.
Same goes with like magic and voodoo. Like you could do it for good, but you could definitely use it for bad.
Evil, real shit, man. Very, very well put. Very well put.
Thank you.
Okay, so then and it says, once they touched down on Savannah, Augustine immediately charged the plane's front doors and started swinging. And this is when they showed on the, like I was saying, this is when the video came. This is what the video footage actually showed. Not the part where somebody got kicked across the plane. That was the part I really wanted to see. That was the best part to me. But he said while he was fighting all these people in his plane, his sister jumped in on it too. She's screaming and ranting too, and then all this other stuff. And they said like while the guy Rosenberg, Mr. Rosenberg, he was one of the passengers on the plane that jumped in on it and tried to wrestle the guy to the ground.
Okay.
He said him and several other guys helped wrestle the Haitian dude to the ground. And they say once they grabbed onto the sister's hair bun and because once they had him on the ground, the Haitian dude was grabbing on the sister's hair bun and everything. Wouldn't let go of her leg.
Damn.
She was like, "Don't let me go for my sister." It was crazy. And they said so the cops showed up and they tased him once, twice, and three times. He still wouldn't let go of his sister. At that point, they had to cut the woman's hair to make him let go. Because he's holding on to his sister. Yeah, he's holding his sister's hair so tight. They're like, you know what? Cut that shit. So she got a bad haircut and they fucked him up after that.
And this happened at the airport.
Yes, when they landed in Miami, because this happened in Savannah, Georgia. They was flying from Savannah, Georgia to Miami. They hit some turbulence, and I don't know if he freaked out because he thinks planes are the devil or some shit. I don't know, but turbulence. He was like, after turbulence was over, he went crazy and tried to fight everybody on the plane, talking about he's possessed by the devil. And the strength that he was showing had everybody be like, "This is very supernatural. How he just kicked this person across the plane like there was a rag doll." And he's fighting everybody off, and they keep tasering him once, twice, three times. He won't go down.
He was on demon energy, dude.
Straight up.
He's like, I told you to leave me alone, Kokudu.
Watch the brain bouncing.
But then everybody can feel like the force field from that kick. It's like, woof,
shockwave.
Everybody's like, what the fuck was that? It's like, I think he's on to something. I don't think he's just saying he's possessed by a demon. I think he is possessed by a demon.
I'd have been like,
I would believe, be like, hey, I'm not going on this flight. Fuck that, dude. That's already negative energy. I was like, shit, I'll take a spirit flight back home.
Yeah, man. Spirit for one, please.
Yeah, like spirit flight, round trip, $40. First class,
Say
please.
Say less.
First class is like $60. Say less, yeah.
Right, it's a deal, man. Shit. So like I said, like he wouldn't let go of the woman's hair. They had to, like, cut the hair off so he can release it and they could throw his ass to the ground. But why they threw him on the ground? He actually swallowed some rosary beads. He swallowed.
What movie are we watching?
Ooh, right, dropped a bunch of
became anal beads.
Oh man, like this big.
A rose, disrespect. Jesus.
Yeah, so he swallowed like some rosary beads, and then his sister later told police was because the beads are weapons of strength in spiritual warfare. So I'm assuming, for what it sounds like, the guy may have been possessed. That's their story, that he was possessed, and he put the rosary beads in there and to swallow it, maybe to control the demon in him, subdue it, something. But he's like, oh shit, I gotta get this best out of me. And then so after that, also too, the duo was actually on their way headed to Haiti. So they were just stopping in Miami and then flying from Miami to Haiti after that. And they said there was the reason why they was leaving. Actually, they were trying to leave America because of free religious attacks, spiritual nature, yada yada yada. Anyways, they wound up locking them both up because they was like, yo, you guys both have an issue. He whipping everybody's ass. You talking crazy. Y'all gotta go.
Imagine getting kicked by a demon.
Man,
what that feel like? What do you think that feels like?
Oh man, that's like
I'm trying to imagine it. Like it probably feels like a shock,
like,
you know?
No matter the shoe size of the demon possessed, even though like a child foot, it's still gonna feel like a big foot hitting you. Like
yeah,
it was like a children's.
Like your whole body probably feels it.
Hell yeah, flying through the air.
Damn.
Yeah, so they got his ass. He locked up and shit right now. They ain't making that trip to Haiti. I promise you that.
Dude, drugs would trigger stuff like that, dude.
No
like,
shit,
let's say you're already like somebody already puts like some evil shit on you. If you take drugs, that shit probably like click like that. Right? Like once that Molly hits or whatever, like boom, that shit get triggered. Demon's like clocked in, beep. Right. Oh, we at the airport today. We about to show out right now.
What is that, turbulence? Time to turn up.
Should I tell them that I'm a demon? Like announce it first before you start doing fucked up shit? Because I think that's the rule, right? You gotta announce yourself before you do fucked up shit. So the demon's like, all right, I'm here. I'm possessing this body.
It's me.
I'm about to throw down now. Chest kick, douche. Dude's flying like, wow.
Yeah, when I first read that story, I was thinking about Charlie Murphy when he kicked fucking Rick James.
I swear to God, I was thinking the same shit, dude, when you said that shit.
I gotta do this shit for the edit.
But I had to let you finish your story. But
yeah, he's like, y'all take another step closer. I'm kicking this motherfucker out the motherfucking window.
That's wow. So what? So they landed, they got arrested, and now they're just in custody?
Yeah, I guess they're just being held. This just happened. Like, was it Monday maybe? Maybe this weekend?
So you think like the demon just took a break now and they're like all back to normal?
Demon dipped out and now they left dealing with like fucking bail. Like dealing with bail money.
Like, God damn it, man. You got to get this evil spirit off of you or it's going to cause like havoc in our lives for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, in a supernatural aspect, it could have been possessed. In a realistic way, maybe he just freaked the fuck out because they say it happened after they start hitting turbulence, and that's when he was like, because some people don't do well on planes, man. I mean, like me, when I start hitting turbulence, I just close my eyes and I start gripping the seat, and I can feel my palms sweating, knees weak, arms heavy.
Vomit on the sweater already.
Yeah, man. I tense up doing like turbulence flights because I can't stand flying. But I've seen people like straight up like lose their shit on a plane before. Never to this degree, but I've seen like people get pissy and all that because it makes you feel uncomfortable. And this might just be an extreme version of like, oh shit, it's the devil on the plane. It's shaking.
Yeah, it's weird. Like when you hit turbulence, right, and then when the plane drops, and you can feel your stomach going up.
Fuck,
that's crazy. Yeah, I remember like when I rolled with Bob. I forgot where we went. I think we went to Cali or some shit like that. And she freaked out. She's like, she just grabbed onto anything. I was like, oh, this is real. People are that scared.
Turbulence.
I was never that scared. I was like, dude, like if we die, we cannot do nothing about it right now.
That's how my sister is when she goes. My older sister when she goes flying. She's like, and she's indifferent about flying, but she gets on. She's like, look, once that plane door closed, I can't do shit. So it's like, I'm gonna do.
So I was like, I accepted. I was like, it's probably gonna hurt for a little bit, but we can't do nothing now. We're not a pilot. Like, what are you gonna jump out a window? No, just take it.
Every time I get on a plane, that's how I feel the turbulence. My brain's thinking like, all right, Chris, what's your plan? If this plane starts getting crazy, run to the cockpit, kick the door in, and try to fly.
I still want that plane to take off. I'm like, all right, I could die there. I could die right now. I'm good. I couldn't do nothing. I'm not controlling nothing no more.
Damn.
I'm like, this is it.
I'm gonna try to be like that one day. It's tough.
Let me get the peanuts. I'm good. I got a bone to pick with Steve Jobs. I'm good.
I got some ideas. I want to shoot to Steve Jobs anyway. Run that by him.
I got to run something by Hitler. I'm just playing. Don't clip that. Don't clip that.
Please don't.
Imagine a small podcast being taken down because of that.
This.
Yeah. They're like, what? We weren't even monetized.
Like, how is that even possible?
What? But you ruined our real lives.
We didn't do anything, man.
End up living with Bob. Get fired by our jobs.
Got your whole life like in a knapsack, like little stick.
It just happened.
Hey Bob, can I move in?
Said one word.
But it ruined everything.
Is that it for that one?
That's it, man. Demon in the air. That's it.
All right. I got another story, but I got to take a quick bathroom break. Be right back. And we're back. All right. Before we get started, what's up, Stu Jersey? Long time no see, dude. Black Jesus, amen. Let's go. Yeah, you missed the whole Black Jesus story.
Yeah, man.
But you can catch the rerun. All right, so the next story, we're going to be talking about some declassified stuff. It's about the day the aliens fought back. Did you guys heard this story?
Hell no.
Where the CIA reports claims that gray aliens killed soldiers with explosive energy bursts. So here's like the gist of the whole story. So the incident allegedly took place in Siberia, where Soviet soldiers reportedly shot down a UFO using surface-to-air missiles. After the crash, 5 humanoid beings emerged from the wreckage. These beings were supposedly fused with a single spherical energy form, and then when it emitted, it burst like this super bright light, and then the energy burst allegedly turned 20 Soviet soldiers into stone. Like they got calcified into statues. Yeah, and this was in like the CIA document. I don't know when it was released, but it's all written in the CIA document that this happened.
Did they say what year this happened in? The incident?
The story came out in 1993. That was when the CIA document was released. Some shit like that. But I think it probably happened in the 80s.
Right.
So the only survivors were 2 soldiers. They were shaded and sheltered that whole time where this whole incident happened.
Right.
Because I think like they did attack. Like, of course, they shot down this UFO spaceship, right? Aliens came down like, nah, fam. Like, we came here in peace, and you guys fuck with us like this. They're like, they created a ball like, but then they all went together and then
turn them to stone.
Turn them into stone, dude.
Like gargoyles, man.
Right. So a KG.
Like,
go ahead.
So I was about to say that turning somebody to stone. That's like some old school like Medusa type shit. That's like old like Greek. I haven't heard somebody get turned to stone in forever.
Yeah. Then like you know how like there's a whole bunch of stuff about giants used to exist back then, but they're all calcified. But then you see like mountains and stuff, right? Shaped like human figures, but huge shapes, right? Like all around the world, where not just like the head shape, the whole body shape on an island. They're like, hey, this is like a giant person, but they were just probably calcified. And then not only like humans, like giant snakes, huge snakes, right? Where there was an image of a huge snake, but it's like all in stone, but it runs like through like the mountains. It's like, what the hell? Somebody just made this snake like that? Or was it a real snake that got calcified?
Got frozen in time or something.
Yeah. Or whatever, like their technology had, like calcified. Sorry, because that reminds me of like, remember that one Chinese grave site that they found where they dug like so deep. Where they found like a whole empire of like guys, stone figures of like a whole Chinese army. Yeah. Everybody had their own individual faces, right? Yeah. It wasn't the same face. None of the faces were the same. Yeah. None of the faces were the same. So I'm thinking, what if those were real soldiers and they were just calcified? Man. With whatever. They probably did a burst like, everybody turned to stone.
Duck.
Yeah, they're like, all right, everybody, are you guys aligned? Are you guys in position? Because their king is already dead. They're like, all right, this king is going to need you guys to be his army in the afterlife. So we need you guys to stand still right now. Line up, like stand still. All 10,000 of you guys.
Don't move.
Don't move, you with the mustache. All right, and ready? 1, 2, 3.
Everyone look at the flash.
Yeah. Say cheese. All calcified. Stones.
One of the soldiers is like, oh, wait, I think I left the oven on.
Too late. Yeah. And then I think that's what happened. I don't think those statues were individually created one by one, right?
A lot of work, man.
Different eyebrows, different eyes, shape, different mouth. Like, whoa.
Way too much. They got put under a spell or some kind of tech. Not that it makes sense to me.
So, like, back to the story. So, according to legends, the petrified remains were sent to a secret research lab near Moscow. And in this story, it comes from a translated article that appears in 1993 CIA document that was released later under CREST program, which is a CIA record search tool. It was originally searched from a Ukrainian newspaper called Ternpoly-Vrknoshi. The CIA file notes it was a part of a broader sweep of foreign media for potential intelligence, not an endorsement of event truth. So, I think like in the CIA document, they're not saying like this thing actually happened. It was them documenting an event that supposedly happened. But I don't think they were actually there. It was like a Soviet incident that happened that they documented.
Oh, okay.
But I believe the whole story. I believe like, okay, you shot down a UFO aircraft and you guys got fucked up for that.
No, you gotta pay for that shit.
Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? Like, we're just flying like we didn't know you guys gonna shoot us down. Like, you guys fucking play like that?
We just drive to the neighborhood.
Like, what the fuck? Oh, they said make a left on 12th Street, and this what happened?
They Fucking shot out our time.
Yeah, so they probably made the call like, all right, don't come to Earth. Like, these motherfuckers are hostile. Like, they shoot anything in the air. Do not come here. Like, this is not a safe place. And they probably got the message like, all right, let's send like the big dogs down, talk to all the main leaders in all the countries. Like, hey, you guys can't just be shooting shit out of space like that. You can't.
Like, dude says, Earth is the hood.
Dude, Earth is like the
straight up, man.
Earth is like the bad neighborhood. Yeah,
it's like ghetto planet.
Like, don't go to Earth. That planet is stupid.
Why would you want to come here? Shit. I think a lot of us, if we could get up off this motherfucker, we could. Straight up.
Dude, a lot of people, man. To like, get me off this planet is not like what it used to be.
Stu Jordan says, do not drive past Earth. Lock your spaceship doors. Straight up. Click, click. Oh, you ain't getting in here.
Yeah, like, who would want to visit this place, man? It's so chaotic now. Like,
probably stinks.
These countries, they don't get along. It's like there's no unity anywhere. Even in one own country. There's division in one country. Like, come on. Nobody gets along.
A lot of shit going on, man. I mean, I don't know what the test is for us as humans, but we gotta get our shit together. Yeah, we gotta get it together, man. If we want to be a part of the Galactic Council, we humans, we gotta get our shit together. We will never have a seat at the table if we keep acting like this. I always feel like there's a space galactic council and they just watch us like, man, humans, but we want you to be a candidate at the table and have a representation, but y'all fucking up. We can't trust y'all if y'all just so wishy-washy and murder's on the mind.
Yeah, I think they're definitely watching us.
Like, you guys can't even, you guys won't even, they're probably like, look, you guys have the cure for cancer and won't even use it. Like, even they know, like, you got the cure for cancer, won't even use it. Why would we trust y'all?
Imagine that, right? Like, hey, like, we're studying these people, like, they have the cure for cancer, but they're not giving it to their people. What's happening? Like, what is it, greed? I was like, oh, do you want this? Do they want it for themselves, or they're using it for, like, a power, or what's happening?
Real shit, I would trust humans either be.
Like, let's say they really did have the cure a long time ago,
sitting on it.
And they're not telling us about this. Like, and then when they finally tell us about this, they're like, oh yeah, we had it 50 years ago. And then you'll be like, what? You get betrayed by your own people, dude.
Right? How would that make us feel? I would feel so betrayed.
I would feel disgusted. I was like, what the fuck you guys doing, man?
Like, millions upon millions of lives died from this. And you could have saved maybe billions at this point of cancer. Man, y'all didn't stop this shit.
I think the big thing now is like we're being poisoned with junk food. Or with just regular food, period.
Straight up, man.
Yeah, they're putting too much weird chemicals in all our foods, dude. All our meats, our eggs, everything.
Everything, man. Nothing don't even taste the same anymore.
Nothing tastes the same. It doesn't taste like good like that.
I noticed that years ago when I had Hawaiian Punch. I was like I haven't drunk Hawaiian Punch since I was like a teenager, but I had it again like some years ago, and I tried. I was like, I used to like this shit. I was like, was this always the same Hawaiian Punch, or are they just getting cheap with these ingredients and they're just giving us shit? Because I'm starting to find out like processed sugar is like one of the main things that kills a lot of people in America, and because it's like, and it's cheap. It's cheap. That's the main reason why they use that type of sugar. It's cheaper for the companies to use. They would rather give you cheap shit and fucking kill you than spend more money for healthier shit. Because if I try to eat things like peanuts with like peanuts or whatever, and they have like a sweet taste to it, I try to get peanuts with honey on it, and I try to avoid sugar and shit. So,
speaking of Hawaiian Punch, right? Have you ever seen like that story where people were saying like you can never drink a cold Hawaiian Punch? Like, even if you put it like in the freezer, or if you keep it in the fridge for a long time, everything froze.
Yes, we did.
Holy
Discord,
shit!
Froze.
Oh, my computer all blacked out.
Whoa!
What's happening?
Damn, I froze on.
I froze everywhere, and the computer like just did a blackout.
You still good on Twitch though? I'm completely frozen.
Yeah, I'm frozen on like OBS and everything. All right, so we just got kicked out. My computer just freaked out and everything blacked out, and right when we're finishing up the alien story,
y'all talk too much. We gotta y'all scaring me.
Yeah, you guys talking too much. All right, guys, thank you guys for joining us tonight for episode 219. We'll catch you guys next week. Peace out. Adios.
See you guys.